Good evening, everybody. What's going on? The common theme with the show is happening. Mark is late once again. Showtime. Showtime does not know what time he has to be on the show. No, he did not make it, Mike. Oh, are you surprised? He is late once again. Give him lots of warning. Nate Snyder, how are you, my man? Good to be back. Little week off. We had Canadian holiday on Monday. So took the week off. Raced the real car on the Monday. Can't wait to see it, Nate. Nate, I'm going to come swing by Rose City this weekend, so I'll come see you at the Rose this weekend. I need a big hug from you. No surprise, not surprised either. But tonight we have a great guest. Great guest. I'm excited for this one. It's going to be interesting. Good evening, Pass. How are you, my friend? Good evening. Where's everybody tuning in from tonight? I know we'll probably have a lot of people from all over. As our guest is from California. So he'll be coming on. He'll be coming on 15 after 8 for us, just because his time is different. We have a huge guest potentially in the works for next week, but it's going to be very tight to make it happen. And I'm talking about a guest who's going to come on the live show who lives on the other side of the world. So hopefully next week we make that happen with him. And then the week after that, we have Scotty Ernst coming on the 24th. 24th, Scotty Ernst. The 17th, we're finalizing. Hopefully this guest can come on. So, yeah. Nashville, Tennessee. Nice. Let's talk about something a little bit quickly here before our guest comes on, because I want some opinions. We put a post up on our Facebook that blew up. I'm sure many of you have seen it. Regarding white bodies, I'm sure many people watched the Euros as I did, and we saw a lot of white bodies out there on the track. So here was our post here. And again, I don't want to go through the comments and call people out, but obviously we saw Lucas and Alex. They ran some race paint there, which was awesome to see, their green and white color scheme. So you know exactly who they were. What's going on, Dan? How are you? So again, a lot of comments. Just curious what you guys watching live, what you guys think about the paint scheme. Hefty said big ass numbers. I agree. We need something to differentiate. Every other racing has numbers. Alex said that EWS in UK is already a ban in place for white bodies. It's just not. Just number one, as a racer, it's hard to know who's who. I know they have little winglet stickers on, but we can't tell who's who. And even from a spectator standpoint, I could not imagine somebody watching who doesn't know RC come on and know who's who. When we have our mall race, many people ask what the hell's going on, who's who on the stand. So I think it's huge. Thank you, Swindells, for agreeing with me. You the man. But curious where you guys are watching live, what you guys think regarding this beautiful paint scheme there. See this? Beautiful looking ride. Again, and people can get creative and do their own paint schemes. There's many guys at our local track at Rose City who have their own, Philip Lemieux does his own paint scheme with his own colors. Doesn't cost him anything extra than doing a basic white color. Add some color. I think the rule should be like minimum 3 colors on your body, at least. Again, for practice, I could care less what you're running in practice. But when qualifying, seeding, mains, personally, I think it should be like a 3-color minimum. I think we should get creative with how we paint our bodies. So that's what I think personally. But what do you guys think? I think numbers for sure. Every other racing in the world has some form of numbers. My thing when I'm talking to our guys is like, imagine if all NASCARs were white or all Formula One cars were white or black. Pick one color, whatever. How is that? I don't know. Just Chris likes the white bodies, but I know he can add a little bit of orange to his bodies. And then another thing was body weight rule. I know that's a huge conversation. If we add, people paint them white because they want to be as light as possible. So yeah, my straight bone. See, look, this guy did a great one. Ryan here has a cool, matches his pit board. That looks awesome. So curious what you guys think. Add your comments to this post to get convocation. Some people simply said they don't give a damn. They don't care, which is totally fine. But just makes it boring. Bear likes pink. You have a bear. You can do a cool pink, white, black. The track owner or event promoter is going to say you can't. Is going to say you can't. Yeah, I know what you're saying. I'm not speaking for like club racing or like I'm talking about like national events. Like this for me, this was an EFRA event. These guys are getting paid to all be there. Like so, I'm talking about the bigger scale events. I agree for the club racing, sure, fine. But when we're going to national events, massive events, I think that's better for the fans and better for people watching at home on the camera and stuff like that. So for club racing and stuff, of course, I mean, whatever you have, no problem. But we're at the pinnacle of the sport, and the top 10 guys in the A main, all 10 of them are paid to be there. It'd be nice to have a little bit of race paint. But it looks like our guest is here, and Mark is not here. I'm not surprised. I agree, Nate the Great. I got on the list of questions. So I hope our guest is ready here. I see him fiddling. Not too sure where Showtime is again. Showtime always complains that his sons are late for work all the time, and here he is late for the one thing he has to be ready for. But our guest, Jacob, whenever you're ready, you can give me a thumbs up. I can bring you on. No rush, my friend. I vote. I agree. No communication. Text me. He's ready to go. He's fired up for this episode and then doesn't show. Not even surprised. I'm going to take away his weekly pay. His salary is gone. But yeah, I'm excited for next week's guest that's coming on too. Hopefully they confirm it by tomorrow or the next day. Again, other side of the world they're on. So it's 13-hour difference, I think. I know we got the Huddy Series race coming up, so I'm sure everyone's tuning in for that. Next one's at Norcar. Should be a good one. And then we got the race coming up at Total RC in Canada. Definitely got signed up for that. It looks like a beautiful facility. I'm trying to make it out there myself. I'm excited for that one. Kevin and Patrick and the rest of the gang have built a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful track up there. So I highly recommend that. And then the racing season, it's going to be jam-packed. Carpet season starting very, very soon. Carpet season soon. I saw New York posted again some more details. So carpet season's around the corner. We're already, technically mid-August. And then the first big race I have put Simon's on. Todd's fault. He was here and leaving, and Todd ran out to talk to him. Todd Mullner, Jordy's dad. Come to NYGP. I hope so. I'm trying to. Had a little mishap here at the house, so need to figure that stuff out first and get my equipment in check. Yes, USPTA NATS. Yes, sign up for taking off. So check that one out. That's over in Tennessee at EA's track. They do some great stuff there, especially if you're a big NASCAR or ETA fan. Highly recommend. That should be quiet. Funny to see multi-white. Yeah, I agree, Dan. I know Alex said at EWS, the other series, they're doing something of a ban on it, but yeah, I personally completely agree that these guys who paid to get there should have race paint on their bodies, or make a rule to force them to have race paint. It might not be on them. Alrighty. Yeah, not surprised. All right. Our guest is ready to go. Our guest is one of the rising stars in on-road RC racing. From California, he's made his name for himself with speed, consistency, and impressive IFMAR World Championship finals finished. Tonight, we'll dive into his racing career, some major events, life on the team, and what's next for one of RC's top young talents. Please, everybody, welcome to the show, Mr. Jacob Cruz.
Hello, everybody. It's very nice to be here. Hello, Max. It's very nice to
Jacob, how are
meet you.
you? Nice
I'm
to
doing
meet you, my
good.
friend.
I'm doing very good. Right now, California is like 5:15, I think, or 5:10. So, maybe
So it's
three
early for
hours.
you.
Yeah, 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 a little bit early for you guys. A little late, but it's nice to be here, though. Thank you
Yeah,
again
no.
for, thank you for inviting me. It's an honor. So,
Oh,
really
thanks for coming
appreciate
on,
it.
man. Thanks for
No,
coming
no
on,
problem.
and you've made an insane name for yourself over the last few years. So there's many people requested you to come on, believe it or not.
Oh wow, thank you guys. Well, it's I really appreciate it.
And you said today was your first day back at school, so California school starts early.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, August 10th. I mean, I've been at school for a little bit beforehand because I have like leadership and all that stuff. So I do like, preparations for like rallies and all that stuff beforehand. But yeah, today's the first official day. Honestly, it's a little bit tiring to get back, but I think I'll just try to pick up on my feet again. So maybe like give me like a week or two before I could like settle into school again. But it's nice seeing all my friends and all that stuff. So but one more
Yeah.
year and I'm shipped off to college.
Are you excited for that?
Um, I think it'll be a very good journey. It's a little bit stressful, I think, with the college essays and applications, but I think once I get all that through, I think it'll be really good at the end of the day, and pursue whatever I can.
I agree. We're gonna pause that call right there. I'm gonna bring Showtime on, our co-host, and I want you to give him shit for being late because he owes you a big apology. So we'll bring Showtime on here. We'll give him shit, and then we'll talk a little bit more. Uh, Showtime.
Hey, buddy. Sorry, kiddo. Right?
Hello.
How are you, kid?
I'm doing good. You?
Awesome.
That's
Awesome.
good. That's good.
Sorry I'm late.
Oh, no
No,
problem.
no worries.
Showtime used to be a young, fast guy like yourself,
Used to be.
but he never made a world finals.
Oh God.
So you are significantly better wheel than he is.
um,
That was the coolest shit I've seen in a long time, man. That was awesome.
Thank you so much. Thank you. It's a lot of work. So thank you. I
Hard
really
work pays
appreciate
off,
that.
man. Hard work pays off.
Appreciate it.
And you
Thank
showed
you.
it.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Jacob was just telling us how he's getting, his last year of high school and he's getting into college next year, and they created their own program for him. So he's going to get his degree in RC racing.
I know, right? Yeah. It'll be
First
like
one ever.
yeah,
Beautiful.
4 years. I'll be the founding one. So it'll be
Yeah.
perfect.
Nice.
I could like copyright my name on it so no one can steal it.
There you go. We'll send Showtime to be the second because he needs the support.
God, yeah, buddy.
That'll be perfect. That'll be perfect.
So obviously, then you're going to school. So I gotta ask: has RC racing ever been a full-time thought for you? That's got to be in the back of your mind, especially after 2024. There.
Oh yeah. It's especially after 2024, it's been in the back of my mind. Obviously there's a lot of balance into it, like schooling and the education, life in general, and the racing, of course. And I think I'm still, well, I've been trying to find that balance, and I think it's been getting better and better. But it's always been in the back of my mind, and especially racing more overseas, and making like a career out of it would be awesome to travel around the world. But I think once I get that balance, I'll figure that part out. But I think it's always been in the back of my mind though. It would be a very nice thought, especially to experience life to the fullest. I think that'd be awesome to be one of the top racers, and you see all the people overseas and like Orlovsky, like racing for his career. I think that's very inspiring, and that's something like I personally want to try out and hopefully make it to that level.
Yeah, I mean, for people that don't know, 2024 there was the IFMAR Worlds in Bakersfield, California. Obviously, you went close track to you, and you made the show. You made the top 10. You beat out top dogs like Lucas Urbane and other European and Asian racers. So, for people who don't know, technically you're a top 10 touring car driver in the world.
It's still honestly kind of surreal to even think about that. But it's been an honor to even get that title. So yeah.
And I remember seeing an interview there. I think it was maybe Scotty walking around, and we talked about school. And You were on one of the bleachers actually doing schoolwork.
Yeah, I remember
Remember
that
that
one.
interview? Yeah.
I was under a tent and like I was just trying to figure out like some math problems while watching like the qualifiers going on. So I was like on a time crunch at the same time.
And then you have Scotty bothering you, and you're like, "I gotta get schoolwork done, man." I still remember watching that.
Nah, but it was nice getting some interviews from Scotty. You know, it's always been like a dream that like to especially get interviews from him and being at that level. I think it was yeah, it was a surreal experience. Um, but you know, it was definitely one of the greatest times of my life, especially for that weekend. So yeah.
Yeah. But as that weekend went on, as you went into that weekend, what was your goal? Was your goal to make the B main top 20?
Um, Honestly, I came in with the mindset to do the absolute best I can, which is, you know, going for obviously the top spot because but realistically, I would say maybe top 20, but I think after like the first seeding round, I started to realize that I have a lot more pace than maybe top 20, so I just pushed to like the top 10. And you know, it worked out at the end, so I think throughout my qualifiers, I think especially through qualifier 2 where I qualified 4th overall in that round. I think that really helped me solidify the the top 10 in the A main.
Yeah, I remember watching that one. I remember watching your name bouncing around, and it's like, you did a quick lap, and then Reinhardt goes around, and on top dog, it's like, shit, Jacob's lap was faster. Like, this, I'm like, this kid's wheeling this car right now. So I remember watching it, and I was cheering. I was like, damn, like, that's the stories that you hear that, make or break people's RC career, and that definitely made it for you. So hats off to
Thank
you
you.
and to your
Thank
father
you so
who
much.
helps wrench on the car as well.
Yeah, if it wasn't for my dad and my mom, you know, I wouldn't be here. So yeah, I love them very much, and yeah, they've brought me to this level with you know every support I need. Yeah,
Yeah.
but I remember during that qualifier, I remember Bruno was chasing me, and then I think I was able to get like a hot lap during that. So it was kind of fun, like somewhat battling it out with him. So even without like fighting for position, I think it was nice to be on that like same pace as him for a couple of laps.
Yeah. No, it was sick to watch because they obviously they're panning to Bruno who was leading it, and you're there, and you're still there, and it's like,
Yeah.
I remember watching it. I was like, shit, okay, this kid's legit. So, no.
Yeah, it was definitely crazy, but yeah, it felt good to be on my A game that one. So yeah.
And what did it feel like that I think A1 was Saturday night. What did it feel like when you were lining up for A1? How were the nerves? Were you calm?
I was honestly very calm. Like, especially going into that Worlds, I felt super relaxed. I think that was the major part I had to get through, and I think that's what helped me propel me to where I was in the overall rankings. But I think from qualifying to A mains, it's like a different story because you got to think differently. You know, you got to because I was in ninth, I think ninth qualifier. So so climbing up the ladder was a little bit different than, you know, just fighting for times. Um, but mostly I was just calm. I just had bad luck in the mains. I think. The first one I hit the dot and I rolled it over like towards the end, which is a little upsetting. But you know, uh, at least I think I followed Alex a little bit and held him off a little bit. So I think there was a really good battle with him. And I remember there was like a really big crash in the straightaway, so it was kind of sketchy there. But but yeah, overall it was a very tight, you know, like very close racing, but it's just like a very different thought than qualifiers. But I think I was very calm throughout the whole thing.
Yeah. Yeah, you just got to hit your marks and hope the others make mistakes by
Yeah,
putting pressure on
exactly.
them. And
Yeah, you
and
just gotta. Yeah, at that point, you just gotta hope. But you know, I knew I was good enough to keep up. It's just you know just luck of the draw. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
And I remember,
he's in the show. It doesn't matter. Anything else is a plus, right? You're in the top 10. Anything else was a bonus, or it didn't matter where you finished, kid. It was you made the show at the Worlds.
Thank you. But yeah,
yeah.
it was yeah. What are you saying?
No, no, go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah, it was you know yeah. I think the best part is just actually making the show and just showing what I can do. But obviously you wish better for the mains, but at the end of the day, you can't really complain. Especially that weekend was really amazing for me. But it was honestly it was honestly like a blur of a weekend. So, but it was probably the greatest thing that ever happened.
Yeah, I feel like I had to pull up the list of the other guys behind you because I feel like you were like, you know, I don't know what the word is, but like these are some of the guys behind you. Okay, Heyoto
Mhm.
Ishiaki, Jin Swada, Lucas Urbane, Antoine Brunette, Christopher Krapp, Asushihara, Nicholas Lee, Soto Goto, Ryan Maker. Ah, like, well, if I went to a race, I would just hope I'm within 5 laps of those guys, and then you go out there and lay it down and out qualify them, and as we say at our home track, beep beep, get the hell out of the way. That's what you did to them.
Oh man, but I think it was a great time, especially like you hear those names and you see as I see myself compete with them, especially like I hear some of those names like Nico from like Reedy. I always look up to them. I always watch like the Reedy races as like a kid. I see like Nico, Christopher Crop, all those guys like Ronald, Mark, Bruno. I think one time in Reedy, guys like Akio. So to see myself in that position, I think it really boosted my confidence, and I think it was just like a very humbling experience at the same time.
Yeah, and you mentioned all these names when you were growing up, watching them at the Reedy race. And did you have someone that you like idolized as you were growing up as a young
Uh,
racer?
yeah, I would say that would be Ronald Volker.
Huh.
So I remember watching that one Reedy race in 2016 where him and Mark battled it out in Tamiya. I think he did that inside outside pass when Scotty was announcing. It's like a class dismissed. So I think I watched that over like a million times as a kid, and I really idolized him as a kid. And I met him like I think 2017 Fresno race, Sencal, or I think it was like Tyler CTS race. But yeah, from there on out, I basically idolized him, followed his footsteps, and try to like gain more experience, especially during the World Championships. I got to befriend him and my family, and really get to know the person than the actual racer, which was very very nice.
Yeah, so funny you mentioned Ronald as your idol because now you guys are teammates and
Yeah,
obviously you guys
exactly.
work together closely in the 2024. Talk how that relationship developed for you guys from when you first met him to how you guys pitted beside each other at a Worlds and shared setup and car knowledge.
Well, when I first met him, I would say I was very shy. Because the nerves, and I think being someone just as like on the top of his game, like back then, I think it was really astonishing. But when I met him during the World Championships, it was like a full circle moment. But I think that's where our relationship really grew. Beforehand, I think we would just text and share setup tips. But actually meeting him and talking to him in person really developed myself as a driver, and my personal relationship with him. And I learned that he was a very funny guy. At the same time, he always jokes around. I think that helped me and my family get really comfortable with him. Throughout many dinners and many times at the track. Especially during Bakersfield. I remember it was very hot, so I think we really like bonded like during that very hot like weekend during the world's warm up. So I honestly, and especially when we went to Europe, South Korea, he was there too. So we got to know him more, a little bit more there. And honestly, he's like family at the same time. So it's a very full circle moment, and I always appreciate what he's done and what he's given me and what he's taught me at the same time, because without him, I wouldn't even be here at the same, uh, you know, be here talking to you guys. Let's say. So yeah.
Yeah. And during that Worlds, you guys had the new Mugen car.
Mhm.
What was the feeling of being told, like, hey, Jacob, we're going to give you this new prototype car. You're going to work with the big dogs and figure this thing out. How'd that feel to work with those guys?
Felt incredible. Like especially to be part of the development team was absolutely insane. You know, you always wish to be part of that. And at the same time, I want to thank Robert Peach, because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be part of that. And his trust in me to race the actual car at the World Championships, to debut it with like very little parts. I think it's an absolute honor to do that. I think. And to perform that well with the new car, the new car felt phenomenal that weekend. It was just a bonus.
And how much did you guys? So when you got the car, you guys put it down the track for the first time for practice. How much are you guys changing, communicating, setup? Are you guys? Did you guys go into it with two completely different setups, or something similar and fine tune? What was that like developing the setup?
First, well, what Robert and Ronald did, we kind of followed in their footsteps. Robert like wrenched on the car, so I think they were basically like similar setups in the beginning, and especially throughout the World Championships, I think they stayed similar. And I think we made a little bit adjustments here and there based on my driving. If it didn't work, we just put it back. But practically, they were both exactly the same setup, and they both worked very, very well. I think it's just very minimal things due to driving style, but um, throughout the whole event, it was very much like the same setup. So yeah,
So you also had the world famous Robert tuning and working on your car.
yeah, it was incredible. Like, and especially to see like all the new designs, like especially from the MCC2R to the MCC3, it was mind blowing at that time. So like, I remember like seeing like the angled top decks. They were pretty innovative. Um, you know, like the adjustable parts for the setup, you don't need much shims on it. It's just very adjustable with like just a little bit of movement. Especially on like the shock towers and all that stuff. But you know, first time seeing it, it was I think it was very mind blowing. But yeah.
Yeah. And when you guys are communicating over the weekend regarding the setup and the car, what's that communication like? How technical are you guys getting? Like, do you just come off and say, I need more steering, I need more stability? Or are you guys getting breaking down the parts of the track where you need to be better?
I would say a little bit of both. Honestly, you don't want to change too much, especially at that event. I think too much drastic change will maybe not go in your favor as much, you know what I mean? But I would say this here and there, like a little bit more steering. If the rear end's a little bit loose, you know, try to like lock it in. I think that was one of my problems over at finish line at the Worlds. I think I wanted the rear end to be a little bit more stable. I think we changed like the toe. I think we went more out. But um I would say where it is specifically on the track, it feels like that way. But overall it wasn't too much. So but exactly what you said, it was just very minimal stuff you gotta say. And then he'll eventually figure it out. Especially like I think Robert saw like specific stuff that on the track, because and then he just he adjusted it right away, like after my run. So yeah. So it was honestly great teamwork at the end of the day.
And it allowed you to sit there and get your math homework done.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's perfect. It's a little bit less stress for me.
Yeah. No, that's crazy. I, I want to take a little bit of step back, and we keep saying it, IFMAR World finalists, but obviously there was a time when you first touched the radio and first saw an RC car and first got into this. So, what got you into racing RC, and what hooked you to be where you are today?
Ooh, um, that's a long story. So I'm okay. I'll start with this. Like I'm allergic to like peanuts and like all these other stuff, you know. And then I think I went to the hospital one day, and my dad bought me a Traxxas, like a basher. So as like a little gift after my time in the hospital. So and then that's what got me into RC. And then I went to a local hobby shop. It's called Tony's Hobbies. And you know, he just taught me how to like drive it around. So I initially started with off road, but and then I went to OCRC for a little bit. I think there was like a small track in the corner, so I just like drive the basher around and all that stuff. And then it turns out that there was near my house there was a carpet track, an on-road carpet track, like 5 minutes away in Chino. So we got into that, and then honestly, I started liking the on-road side a little bit more. So my dad bought me a BD6 Yokomo, and that's when really everything sparked. And you know, ever since then, I been driving on road and moving up the ranks.
Attaboy.
From stock to modified. But yeah,
So your dad never raced?
my dad raced actually. In the 2000s, he raced nitro sedan. So
Okay.
he was over near this area, like I don't know if you guys know like the track like Revelation or Crystal Park or something.
I heard Revelation back in the day. Yep.
Yeah. So he used to race those, and some of his like most of his friends from back in the day were over on the transition to the electric on-road side. So we
Okay.
saw some of his friends like in the local carpet track called TQRC Raceway. So it was like a full circle moment for him too, like seeing like his old friends. I think that's what got him hooked back onto it, and then that's what got me hooked. But in the beginning, my dad used to race with me at the same time, but
Yep.
I think he realized that he would focus me more on me, so that he would eventually become more of my mechanic at the same time.
That's probably because you were kicking his ass on a weekly basis. That's probably why.
Making sure he doesn't beat him, right?
So-
Make sure he don't lose to the kid.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
true.
Sorry, Mr. Cruz, if you're watching, but yep, it's all right. It's all right.
No,
I would do the same.
So with your track, with your carpet and asphalt, do you prefer one more than the other, or you like running both, or?
um, I like running both. At the beginning, I grew up with carpet, of course.
Okay.
I loved carpet, but eventually that track closed in 2019, so I had to transition to asphalt racing. But my love for carpet is always there. But at the same time, I think I love both in like a balance. So, but obviously, I'm just more of a asphalt guy now, and I think I prefer a little bit more of asphalt because I have more practice on asphalt. But if I go back to carpet, it reminds me of those old days, and it's very nice at the same time.
Yeah. What is your closest asphalt track?
I would say it's Southern California on-road raceway, which is called Score. It's in Anaheim.
Okay.
We raced there like a couple times, but usually we go to a track called BWS Raceway, so it's in Lake Paris. And I think that's honestly we've been going there more because it's really high grip, and the World Championships at Thailand is really high grip.
Yeah.
I think it correlates to that, and I think it's better preparation going to
that-
that event.
Is that the one where Little E goes, Eric Ep? Do you see him
Sometimes I
quite
think
often?
so.
Do you see him quite often?
I see him a little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
And then I see his son, so yeah, it's kind of cool. But they go there sometimes. I think I last saw them at like a club race. It was pretty big.
Is that the one I seen you? Like you got some videos or just pictures of you? It was newer. Is this new one that's all fenced in? Looks like it's at a park, or no? Which one's
Oh,
that?
I think it's a different one. It's where they race the dirt nitro challenge. I think if you guys know what that is.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So it's like right across. It's like a little like a little barn area.
Oh, that one that you
Yeah,
most.
yeah.
It's covered.
S-
The one that's
Yeah, it's
covered.
covered. It's
Okay.
yeah.
Which is the one I seen you at? It looks newer. It's fenced. It's fenced in, I think.
That's in Anaheim, I think, if you're talking about that one. That's at a park.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. It's near like a man-made lake, so
Okay.
there's like a lot of like a lot of animals there, but it's a nice track too.
Got to make sure the alligators don't pull your charger off the table.
I know, right? Especially if you're at Florida.
Oh yeah.
Jay, which is the one that you're at? Sometimes it's got like a concrete wall that's painted like yellow or something on the back
Painted
side.
yellow.
Or I can't remember the
Um,
color, but I just remember there's a concrete wall that you probably stand on to watch down. Looks like the track's a little bit lower. I know it's
Um,
asphalt.
I'm not. Is it like lines like instead
Yeah,
of
it's got a
like
lot
it's
of
like strip
curbing.
lines?
Yeah.
It's not like actual curves. It's like actual like it's like strips of lines or something.
Yes. Which one's that?
Oh, that's BWS. Yeah.
Okay.
But that's where I've been racing, like practicing and racing like quite a ton, especially for preparation for Worlds. So I think that's why we're mainly there.
Ryan says, "Is that the Jacob Cruz?" Yes, sir.
Hello.
For your local tracks, 100%.
Mhm.
What's up, guys? Tim Perez in the house. Brian Thompson, Cal Raceway says,
Yeah, we missed you, kid, that time the COVID hit, and you were you signed up for the Canadian Nats, you were going to come that year. That would have been incredible. I think you were coming and a few other Cali guys. That would have been
Yeah, I
really
remember that
entertaining
one.
at that time. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember especially I think Iber wanted us. I think he gave us like a little notice to go to the Canadian Nationals.
Yep.
So I really wanted to go there. I heard it was like an old Target, right?
Yeah, we were in an old Target, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Track
it was
was
really cool.
the track was nice and big for a carpet track. It was 60 by I think 110 or something like that. But
Wow.
so we had the whole Target. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, that would have been a great experience, I think so. But that sucks. Um, but is that track like not there anymore? I heard like
No, they
something
tore down
moved.
the Target to put up
Ah,
condos, which the condos still
ah,
haven't got built yet, but it's been torn down for about 4 years now, I figured. So we
wow.
lost that place.
Ah, yeah, because I think we lost like a huge nitro track, like Steel City, like a couple
Oh, the
years
Steel
back.
City,
So
yeah.
yeah. So it's basically like similar situation. But
Because
yeah, I miss.
I think Lex was coming with you that year to K Nats. I think he signed up too. So I figured you guys were
Yeah,
coming together.
I believe so. Yeah, I believe so. We raced like a million times, so I'm very sure he was going there too.
Don't worry,
Yeah.
Jacob. We'll talk for this year. We'll make something happen maybe this year or next year.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I'm down. I'm down to race again. So
We'll help you guys. Come race on the carpet.
I'm down to race carpeting, and it's been a good minute. So I think more preparation for that would be amazing.
Yeah,
I'm,
you gotta be pretty proud, kid, on running Mugen and how many Mugen cars I see in Cali now and how many people, right? So it's got to be you and the help you and your dad must give to the next racers and stuff that these people decide to run a Mugen. So
Yeah, yeah.
I give you all the credit on that one. I could be right or wrong, but I'm usually always
Thank
right.
you.
Ask Max, right? So I'm sure
I-
that's why you right. A lot of product must be sold in Cali because of you.
Thank you. Well, we try, of course. We
Yep.
really try. So. But I think that was one major part, especially going to Mugen, is more promotion for that brand.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we contributed a good amount to it, and I think I'm very satisfied of how the company grew and how many Mugen drivers like we see like in some races. I think it's a great sight to see, and it contributed to like some of the success for Mugen as a brand in total.
100%. Are you planning to go to the Worlds this year?
Yeah, I'm planning to go. So in 3 months, I'll be in Thailand, in Bangkok. So that'll be very sick. It's at a huge RC, but I've always seen it in videos, like especially huge RC and RC Attic for TITC. But huge RC is the one in the hangar. I think I've seen a couple of videos, which like I said before, it's like insanely high grip. I think you gotta glue your tires all the way to the brim.
Yeah.
But so hopefully I don't traction roll that much because I heard like that track is like a car breaker a little bit. But honestly, I'm very excited for that. To see everyone again, especially the guys around Europe and Asia. I haven't seen in a couple years, so I think it'll be a very exciting experience, and I'll definitely do my best to get get similar results or hopefully go for better ones at the World Championships this year.
I like that podium.
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try. It's the mindset. So
I like that. It's a good mindset to have. Is
Yeah.
go to the race to try to win it, especially at that level.
yeah, exactly. I think it's a must have at this point. So
Yeah.
because yeah, I
How
think
long?
yeah.
Oh no, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, I wasn't gonna say really much. What are you saying?
But when do you guys? So obviously the Worlds was supposed to be in China. It got canceled. I'm sure you were planning to go to that one.
Yeah.
How much before those Worlds do you guys start preparing as a team, and getting ready for a World Championship?
Well, usually I would say at least 6 months beforehand. We just gotta make sure like we practice at some place that has similar track conditions and like similar types of grip. So let's say at the China for the Worlds at China, we were practicing more at Bakersfield because it had like similar feel, I guess. But for this Worlds, we were practicing more BWS because the grip is really high there, so it matches Thailand a little bit more than Bakersfield. But I would say yeah, 6 months before, we talked to like teammates, like especially Ronald, like on what's happening over there and what he's changing on the car a little bit here and there. And try to base it off ours and try to test what he put in. So we just try to like input each other with as much information as we can before the worlds, and try to get an overall look before it actually happens. And I think that really pays off, especially the last worlds. I think I practiced there like every weekend, so a lot of hard work, a lot of sun too. I think I got really tanned up over there, but it was definitely worth it at the end of the day. So I guess the hard work pays off.
100%. You can't beat hard work. And I forget, Showtime keeps using an example one time, I think with Michael Jordan or somebody about how hard work. What's that one you always say, Showtime, about the hard work?
Which
I don't know. Give me one analogy one time.
yeah, I can't.
Yeah, but you just pull shit out of your
Yeah,
ass.
hard work pays off. No, it
I
goes
don't know.
by. It's almost. That's what I told you. It's almost like a sickness. It has to be. If you want to be the best, it's almost like a sickness. So when everyone's gone home, like Kobe, when you found out Kobe
Yeah.
after a practice, the guy's making 30 mil a year or whatever, but after practice he stays 2 hours by himself and shoots hoops. Who does that? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
The guy that wants to be the best. So like this young man will be at the track, right? You want to be the best, you got to put the time in, and obviously he does, and he wants it.
hmm
Yep. Yeah.
Like
That's-
it could be very long hours, but you gotta stay hungry, But it gets very tiring at times, but you just gotta push through, and then results show up.
I agree. So you must be excited then to go to Thailand because
Oh
beautiful
yeah,
weather, big track.
oh yeah,
Very
beautiful weather, big track. Very very competitive over there, and I'm excited for the food as well.
I hear a lot about the good food.
Oh yeah, yeah. Especially at TITC, I remember there was like a row of like tents full of food. So uh maybe if TITC is still there, I could experience that as well. I think that would be awesome.
Yeah. But you went over to China, right? And you tested there at that big track. Maybe.
I didn't actually. The last time I went to China was for AOC. That was 2019, so I wasn't actually there yet.
Maybe I'm thinking of you went to Korea somewhere. You went somewhere this year, right?
I went last year. Yeah, I went last year for Korea. It was AOC as well. And that track is amazing as well. Like if you guys are planning to go like somewhere over in Asia, I would definitely recommend like AOC, and I would definitely recommend like the track in Asia, like South Korea. I mean,
Okay.
because I think it's called GRC. I think so. That track is super nice. It has like a cafe right next door, and like an indoor track. Like it's a very small like indoor asphalt track. Very high grip too. But I remember when we were in AOC, we were practicing over there. It was raining like the whole time, so everyone would be inside and just like try to get hot laps inside. So it's kind of funny. And
Because
then
hot lap wins races.
yeah. But it was a great experience over there in South Korea. It was more preparation for you know preparation competition for what's later on. But again, that was also an amazing experience that I had to go through. Even though it was cut short a little bit due to the rain, I think it was great getting to know those people, especially like people like Ronald Love and more Mark Reinhardt, Akio, and we always went to dinner afterwards. So I think it was a great time, no matter what. So
Out of all these tracks you've been to all over the world, even you've been to ETS, there's
Yeah.
got to be one that's your favorite, or two that are your favorite.
Ooh.
You have to pick one track. What would be your favorite track?
If I had to pick one track, my favorite track would probably be Apeldoorn in Europe. So in Amsterdam, I think honestly that's one of the best facilities in the world. If I would say, like racing wise, I think that track would be near the top three. ETS was such a insane experience, especially going through um, the motions and all that stuff, like getting used to how the way like the races are prepared and scheduled. I think it's a lot different than the United States, and I think they organize it a lot better than the US, if I were to say so myself.
Yeah, it's a lot more organized. There's less practice,
Yeah,
but
a
way
lot
more
less
schedule.
practice. Yeah, like when we were over there, like I only had like 3 packs to practice, like 2.5, and like the 2 previous packs I did, it rained out, so it was very low grip. But so in reality, I had like 2.5 packs to like actually learn the track, but I was actually happy. Like once I got it down, it was incredible to drive. Like the track itself is so fun.
It looks fun. I couldn't imagine ripping a mod TC around there at those
Oh
speeds
yeah,
and holding on.
like especially at night, like the nightlife over there is insane too. Like you're up at like 9 o'clock and there's still the sun out. It's kind of crazy. But like especially going to the front straightaway, you just hear the speed and like the chassis rubbing or like the body rubbing. You just hear the car just like vroom. It's like amazing. I don't know how to describe it, but like it's just like an amazing like sound to hear. So
Yeah.
it just I don't know. It was just like an amazing experience overall over there. And even like the food was good. Like the catering, they had like Thai food, so we were always like we were always fed good. The experience was great. It was a massive amount of people. I think that was the most I ever seen in an on-road race by far. It was like a good 400 people at least. It was like stacks of tents.
Yeah.
So yeah, like the whole facility was surrounded by drivers. It was crazy. But I think the best part was meeting new people and experiencing new track editions and like the banks and all that stuff. But I think the best part is just like getting to know people more. I met a lot of new friends at that place, and experience Europe firsthand because I think that was my first time actually going to Europe. So I got to visit Amsterdam and Cologne, Germany at the same time after the race. So it was it was a different world, honestly.
I'm sure it is. And by your describing it, I'm starting to get the vibe that your favorite track food is Thai food.
Ooh, I would at this point, yeah, because that's what they've been feeding me so far. But it's been good. I think they fed me over there like chicken rice curry, so it was amazing.
Yeah, better. In the States, they feed you hamburgers, fries.
Yeah, yeah, well, hamburgers, fries, and whatever Asian food I could find. So, but yeah, I think the racing scene in Europe is the one I miss most. Uh, it's just so competitive, and it feels incredible to like actually get to the higher positions. Like it feels a lot more worth it. I think a lot more meaning as well because you're facing all these top level guys and you're just trying to battle it out with them at the same time. And
Yeah,
it just
we talk about that, Jacob, all the time, and even our other friends in China and that racing. Somehow it has to change over here, and you just said it perfectly. I think how over there you're treated as if it's a racer or racing. It's not like a hobby. Over here, it still seems like a hobby. I don't know. I just hear that how they treat these races like everything's first class, or like you're almost like an F1 driver, or this is like an elite
yeah.
sport, not a hobbyist in a backyard or in a hall somewhere.
Oh yeah, I mean like you even see with like the ETS interviews, it's like you know, it's like an actual
Oh, I
what do you
love
call it?
that. Me and
Yeah,
Max
it's
talk
like
about that all the time. I said the next Canadian that's the one thing we got to do.
yeah,
Need more mic time. We need more
yeah,
interviews. I love Max has an idea of why can't we do interviews just as you're marshaling. We're waiting for the two hot
yeah.
laps and go to the guy that just won that heat.
And then
And
I
no matter
love
what heat it is, and let
yeah.
him know, he could say who he is or what he's sponsored by or his car. How was your car? How's the next run going to be? You going to change anything? Treat it more professional. But the top three, when they interview that stuff,
Oh
that's
yeah, the press
incredible.
conference. Yeah, the
Yes,
press conference
very
is
cool.
super sick. It's
Yeah,
like it's like F1 or like some other motorsport racing.
like we want to
It's
do
like
more even pit
amazing.
walks. We got to do
Yeah,
more
yeah,
of that,
yeah.
and
I
not
know.
just. And I know we got to do top guys, but I like to do once in a while the random guy, the guy that spent all his
Yeah,
money to come there, first time coming to some big event, and give him a little interview. What brought him to the races?
and that'll grow the hobby in general. So I think
But
I think that'll
when our friend
benefit
of ours
more.
Dino showed us, I forget what race in China that he goes to, but I couldn't believe what they did for Bruno and everything. It was like a big press conference before, and they had the dragons there and all this other kind of stuff, and the big wall of all the top drivers that were coming. I'm thinking that is incredible.
Oh
Over
yeah,
here, I feel everything's hidden all the time. Like
yeah.
it's not promoted as what it is. And obviously, you've seen that ETS. And when it goes to an ETS race, AMAX says unbelievable.
Oh yeah, it's really unbelievable. It's like a totally different experience. It's like a totally different world. Like you see from the media, the way everything's presented, the way everything's scheduled. You know, the tracks, they're like such an incredible experience. The way people would like come together and all watch. I think the crowds are a lot better. Just everything about it is just like it's more of like a real motorsport racing than the United States in general. So I think that's one thing I really need to get back on, more European races and even Asian races as well. But I think the European races are the ones where you get the most highest competition, especially.
And
But yeah.
which did you prefer for the practice? And like as you said, the ETS is way more organized, less practice. Do you prefer that more than North American style where it's wide open?
Um I would say like I like the Europeans like way of scheduling and organizing the way their practice sessions are. I think it's more like better group based instead of like a free for all in the US. But I would say yeah. Obviously I didn't have much practice going into ETS, but if I were to take one thing into moving into the US is probably their way of organizing races because I think everything moves much faster there. And like how ETS had like 40 something heats, they would all get through it in a single day. So I think the way how they do it is great. They always have like a plan B just in case like something happens, like rain or whatever. So I think just like scheduling and overall everything in Europe is a lot more organized than just the US.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. It's interesting. People have their different opinions on it, but most seem to say what you say too. They love the
Yeah,
organization. They know when they're
yeah,
going on the track. They know when they're off the
yeah.
track. They can go get their food. Everything along those lines.
I think I saw one of your podcast like episodes. Like I think Max talked about it a little bit. I think so at least.
Yeah,
I
yeah. We
think
had
you
Max
g-
Mackler on.
yeah, I think you guys were talking about like that similar subject. So I definitely agree on him in that part. Like the US is a little bit less organized, especially during practice sessions. So
Yeah. I want to talk a little bit about an international situation that went on in the RC world. And I saw you have these on your car and curious your opinion. Many bodies have come out in the last 3, 4 months. Um,
yeah,
we were always using the Speciale, it felt, for like 3 years. And then the next thing, the Lens body came out. Now the Avalon came out and shook up the world. Now we have the new Extreme body. I'm sure you've tried them all. What's your overall
yes.
consensus on those four?
Well, like you said, bodies have changed over the past 3 months. Um, they like the I'll say the Avalon, it looks totally different from like the Special, or it it looks it looks like to the point where it looks illegal, but I think you can make it legal. But I think these changes are good for the industry. I think innovation, all that stuff. But at the same time, I think for me, I think you just have to find out which bodies people are actually going to bring to the event. And I think we'll just break it down to what's allowed for like let's say the World Championships and what's not allowed. So I think we're gonna focus on just two bodies that are legal, but at the same time, I think what is the most best option for me to drive at least. But I don't know. Let's take like the Avalon for example. I tried it at like Bakersfield. For me, like it had a lot of grip to where I could push it really hard. It had like a little bit of like initial push, but I think I could push it a little bit harder at that track. But again, I think it depends on certain track editions, especially Europe. It varies. I'm pretty sure that goes for the same with the new extreme body. But I don't know. I've always ran the Speciale, and I think that's like the still the best neutral body in terms of like aggression, but as well as stability. So I think we're considering that to at least try out more. And I know the new the Ghibli body as well. It's somewhat mimics like the speciality. So I think we're trying to like focus on those two and see how those are. And obviously we're testing the other bodies, but we're gonna see what best fits for me and my driving style. And I think those two are the top two right now for my in my opinion.
Is the Avalon? Are you allowed to use that at the Worlds? Do you know or no?
Um, I believe is allowed. It's just I think you gotta change a little bit of the wings and all that stuff. But
Yeah.
like from what I've heard, it's allowed. It's just yeah, you just gotta do a little bit of adjustments to make it legal. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, I know the Roar was talking about, and I've read a lot of comments that the wing can't be higher than the roof, and
Yeah,
if you use another wing, it's higher. I don't know all the specifications. I'm no techs expert, but yeah, I know there's some stuff you got to change in the rear.
yeah. You gotta change it just a little bit in the rear end, so to make it just not as high. The roof not, I mean the wing not too high. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
But other than that, like, I think we're gonna try that part, especially making it legal. So we're just gonna like trim down the wing, and I think we're gonna try that like at our local track sometime soon, see how that is, and consider bringing it to Thailand at the Worlds. But just try everything we can for the next 3 months and see how that goes, and get all the information we need before the World Championships.
yeah. And how much, like, World Champions coming up fast? How much time are you and your father putting into your RC program now? Is he wrenching on the cars weekly, and you guys going to the track twice a week, or what's your weekly schedule for RC look like?
Usually every weekend, we usually are at the track. So sometimes it's two times a weekend, or one time, um, maybe like a week break in between if I have like a lot during the schedule, a lot of practice during the schedule. But usually it's filled, especially during preparation time for the worlds. So that's usually how my weekends are, and just a lot of study, a lot of time where my dad has to like mechanic the car. So uh, I think a lot goes into it at the same time, and a lot of sacrifice as well, just to get the best results possible.
Yeah, and I'm sure he's preparing the car during the week so that everything's ready to go for the track. And I'm sure
Yeah.
you guys usually bring two cars with you, I'm assuming.
2 to 3 cars. I would probably bring two and then one extra spare just in case anything can happen.
Yeah.
But usually that's the plan. I think that's usually been the plan for the big races we've been racing. So yeah, 2 to 3 cars, and obviously spare parts. Yeah.
Have you had a big wreck before where you had to put that car in the bag and pull out a spare car?
Ooh. Um, South Korea. In the main event, I think we went. Me and another driver went side by side in the front straightaway where it's a kink. So it's like a chicane. We just sent it through there and then just collided. But luckily we had a spare. Both of us had a spare, so we raced A2. But I think that was the last time where I had a major wreck. So it's been a little bit since then.
Okay. And it's got to be a scary feeling at those speeds to see your car
Oh
fly.
yeah, oh yeah. It's definitely scary, but you know, at least now like it doesn't happen as much as a kid. So, but yeah, it's still a very like oops feeling at the same
Yeah.
time.
Sorry, Dad. You got to build a new car and get it ready.
But
I'll go to the cafe.
yeah. But yeah, it's that was I think that was the last time, so it's almost been a year. So luckily there hasn't been anything major since.
You mentioned as a kid said a lot more. There's many people watching this new to the hobby, whether they're young or old, looking to improve their game, get better, even if it's just local level. What are some tips that helped you as you grew up to take your racing to the next step and lower your lap times on the track?
I would say the major things is just keep watching like the faster people on the track, especially when they go out when you're not driving. I would recommend always looking at their lines. I think that's what really helped me. And especially just like putting yourself out there in the competition as well. Like I think the best part is you have to face losing first before you get to the winning aspect, and you have to like face the faster drivers in order to get better as well. But at the same time, if you want to get better, if you're younger, a lot of sacrifice goes into it. So I think a lot of race weekends, a lot of practice days, long hours would help. And yeah, I would honestly say that just keep practicing, keep racing. Eventually those things will add up. You gain more experience. But that's what I have, and especially trying new tracks, I think is a major part. Instead of sticking to one specific track and being fast at that, I would travel around a little bit here and there, even if that means like a local 30-minute like drive to another track. I think it's better to gain more experience at different tracks and be faster equally at um you know different locations than just being ultra fast in one location.
Yeah, 100%. I think you nailed it on the head with that one, especially different atmospheres, different driver stands,
Yeah.
views, noises, everything. It makes a huge difference that some may not think actually does in the big time.
Yeah, and it takes a long time, especially me. Like, it takes a while, especially getting used to like the pressure, the ways people drive, different driving styles, like how to be aggressive and when to not be aggressive, different track conditions, how to drive in those conditions, specific setups like to help the car. It takes a very long time, and sometimes it gets, frustrating, but I think at the end it makes you a lot better driver.
100%. And now, obviously, you are, what, run full time modified. If there's people that here that are wanting to take that jump into modified, what tips do you have for them, for someone first starting out, throwing a 5.5, 4.5 in their car?
Um, I would say just I would say maybe try turning down the turbo a little bit in the beginning if you're new to modified, and eventually turning up like little by little and getting that feel. I think the most important part is if you're running modified, uh, the important part is the infield, not the straightaway speed. So I would probably improve the infield than just like going full blast on the straightaway, because at the end of the day, it's a matter of fact that you got to be smooth during modified racing. And I think that's what a lot of people struggle with. I think people focus on like the speed aspect. So I think if people focus on how to drive the infield being smooth, I think people will be a lot better drivers. Especially moving from stock where you're full pin, right? So I think that slow transition to being more smooth can really benefit you. And it's a different driving style, but at the end of the day, it'll make you better at modified, and it'll make you a better stock driver if you keep doing stock as well.
You and I have different ideas of going fast on the track. I love to turbo that thing up for the straightaway, baby.
It is fun, especially when you can handle it. But yeah, yeah, that's just my opinion. I think the most important part is your infield speed.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. I remember Martin Crisp. Not sure if you were around when he raced. He always told Showtime that a fast mod car looks like a stock car in the infield.
Yeah, exactly. So that's that's usually how it is, and then you could progress to how to be more aggressive on the corners, and eventually that comes in time. But yeah,
Yeah.
the main
You
part,
and
yeah.
you and I are a little bit different. That's probably why you're a IFMAR World finalist, and I'm a Club Race B main driver.
No.
I start at the 60 turbo and work my way down after I send the car a few times. That's
You guys race modified, right? A little bit.
we race mod, yeah.
Okay. That's cool. How long
A
you
little
guys
different.
been racing modified?
I'm sure you know. Well, Mark's son Bryce. He's raced a lot of the carpet races. Bryce Frechette. So
Okay.
yeah, but you got to come down and lay a beating on him. I would love to see that. I would love to see it.
That's funny.
The problem we have around here is that is just like you were talking about, is that we talk about in most podcasts, is that guys that do want to try mod after running stock for so long, they don't give it enough time. So they'll come in, they'll switch over to mod, they give it a few weeks, and obviously don't see the results or whatever, and then go right back to stock.
Yeah,
I
this
always try
yeah.
to convince them it takes a long time to run mod or to be better at mod.
Oh yeah.
Um,
It does take
they,
a long. I mean, it's double the speed, so yeah,
yeah,
it takes a while.
and speedo settings are a huge thing. And you're right, the guys just want to go full tilt and they want to give it the max and the straightaway speed and race each other down the straightaway and send in the end walls. And then they say they break too much stuff.
Yeah.
But we see more and more guys in this area starting to run mod on carpet. That's our main thing is carpet racing. Just because now the battle with stock and motors and batteries and everything else. So now they're
Oh
deciding
yeah.
they give mod a try. At least then they know it's two things: it's car setup
Yeah.
and driving, not the
I
motor of the
know.
week and not
Yeah.
the battery charging or discharge banks. And so we're seeing
I
a
know.
few more.
I
Even
know.
at club racing, we get in the wintertime, Max, we 2 heats.
Yep, 2 heats of mod.
Because I know stock adds up, like especially during like motors and batteries and all that stuff. Like the
Oh
money
yeah,
adds up for that. And it's very competitive too. So I think the US, I think it's more competitive in stock racing. I mean in certain areas. But I don't know how it is in the East Coast much. Oh, did he
I think he froze. No problem. Keep going.
I think I don't know how it is for you guys. Like, is stock more relevant than modified racing?
Yeah, we have a lot more stock drivers. Our tracks are smaller carpet indoor tracks, so they're not as big. So,
Okay, okay.
yeah, like on a regular club race, we'll probably see 20 stock cars, 21
Wow,
fives.
that's cool.
So,
That's cool.
yeah, it's good. But another thing I wanted to bring up, and I saw, I mean, you have many sponsors on your shirt, but you have some brands coming out with Jacob Cruz products. One being
Oh
the
yeah.
Cruz missile sauce. How talk to us a little bit how that developed.
Well, that developed because one racing, Randy Caster. So I want to shout out Randy because, Randy's been helping me since I was a very small kid, especially when I first started at TQRC racing at the carpet track near my house before. So that all started with him. I think he pushed me and my family to promote my name a little bit more. And I think this was a step in the right direction to do tire additives and activators, which I think it gets pretty popular in some parts of of the country and especially overseas. Like I heard Thailand, talking about Thailand, I think they actually use my products quite a bit there. So I think that's awesome to see like how far my own name has reached, and especially throughout the many help that Randy has given me. I think that's an incredible thing to see, and I think that's an important part for my own brand to just reach out across the globe and really put myself out there. I think that's incredible.
Yeah, and you make sure you get your cut from them.
Yeah, yeah, that's it. That's it. So a
Tires
little bit
aren't
of
tires aren't
money.
free.
I know tires are expensive as well.
Yeah. Is there any new products or equipment that you can give us a little insight that your sponsors are working for, or something maybe you're working on with some of these brands personally? What's in the pipeline for
Um,
you guys?
as of right now, not much. I think we're sticking to those main two aspects. But in the future, we're planning to do a little bit more. But exactly, I'm not sure yet. But maybe we'll see what happens. But I think right now we're in a good spot. But honestly, there could be more to improve, obviously. But um, I think we're just trying to plan out what's next for my brand and all that stuff. But I know my mom wants to make a hat, so I think maybe we'll work on that.
Like a hat?
Yeah, like a hat that says my thing on it. So I think that'll be pretty cool. So
You
that
make
says cruise
hats.
missile.
Yep, you got two orders right here. Two. We'll take two
Yeah.
hats down here
All
in
right,
Canada.
cool. That
So,
sounds great.
all right, there's your first two orders.
But uh yeah, we'll see what the future brings. But at the moment, just those two. So we'll see what happens. But I think we're heading in the right direction so far.
Is it your goal to work in the RC industry once your school's finished and create a brand for yourself that, like what Randy did and many others? Is that your goal going forward?
I would say it's a good goal to have. Obviously, I'm not sure what will happen, but I think I would like to be involved with the industry, of course, and have my own personal job and like my own other stuff in the side. But I think it would be nice to be more involved with the industry and improve my own brand. I think that'll be great. To be involved in the industry, I think I'll never really leave the RC industry. So I think it'll be just great to put myself out there even more. Once I get older, of course, but I think there's just a balance between those two. So I think that'll be. I'll try to work that out, like a couple years or something.
Yeah. And you're doing a great job. I know it's difficult with school. When I was racing, when I was in school, I stopped racing, made that
Yeah.
mistake. So, but you also do a lot of stuff. I see your videos that you do now with the Mugen brand and some other stuff too. So you're slowly building up your repertoire in the RC industry.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So like I've been doing videos for them. Especially for I think recently I did a hobby wing video for the ESCs. So like that's been a great way to set myself out there, set myself apart. I do all the editing myself, so it's honestly nice because you have like the personal freedom to do what you want, especially for like the editing aspect. And at the same time, it's helping my brand at the same time. So I think it's a great thing to have, and it's a great thing to do, especially promotional videos. And then I think that's what um the sponsors really like. So yeah.
Yeah. We might have to hire you to do some fourth quarter show editing because Mark doesn't know how to use a computer. So he's off the gun. And I'm not good either with that stuff. So we might have to hire you and bring you on to help us out with that stuff.
I can do those thumbnails too. So
Yeah, because our thumbnails, many people commented about our thumbnails, but again, look at Mark and I. We are not computer people. No.
not tech savvy. It's okay. It's okay.
No. You should see Mark try to turn on our RC radio nowadays, or
Here we go.
set up an ESC, or how does the box go in? Yeah,
Oh yeah. All right.
Mark's good. Mark's good. We send him. We give our burger order. What we want from Starbucks. He's getting really good at that.
Starbucks order. Yes. Thanks.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
it sounds good right now too.
yeah. Well, we'll get you some. And what you have to try is everyone talks about. Sam loved it too. Is booster juice.
Booster juice.
You never heard of that?
No, never heard. What's that?
Be a surprise when you come to Canada.
Yeah.
It's like these what is it? Smoothies.
Smoothies. Yeah.
Oh, I like smoothies. I'm down for that. I'm down for that.
So we'll get you one when you come down here to race with us.
All right, that sounds great. That sounds great.
Speaking a little bit about your future and RC career, where you guys goes, where do you hope your RC career is? 3 years from now, 5 years from now. What's the direction you want to take your racing career in?
I think from 3 or 5 years from now, I think I want to be at the top of my game. I'm still growing. I want to travel a lot more, especially European races like ETS. Upcoming World Championships, and Asian races. I think that would be a great thing, but mostly European races where the most competition is at. And compete for world titles, and eventually compete against the best in the world. I think I want to really push myself to be at the top of my game, and try to compete against the absolute best, as we see it right now. So I think that's the ultimate goal. And I'm gonna keep pushing towards that goal and do everything I can, sacrifice as much as I can to eventually reach that level. And at the same time, promote my own brand and try to set myself apart, from the rest. Keep doing videos, promotion. But trying to balance those things, with life, obviously. Trying to I know like a lot of people can do it, so I'm gonna keep doing that. So I think just like personal life, racing life, I'm gonna try to do the best I can, and hopefully be at the um one of the top in the world. That's the ultimate thing I want to do.
Sounds like a good jam-packed
Yeah.
5-year goals. Mark and I try to accomplish one of those 30 things you just mentioned, but you're going for it all, which I love to see.
Yeah, it's a it's a great goal to have, and I think at the end of the day, I'll think of it as all worth it.
100%. And you mentioned there you want to compete against some of the best in the world. Who do you think currently right now in the touring car scene is the number one driver, the one to beat out of all the guys?
If I were to say, I would say it's either Bruno or Orlowski. So either one of those two. I think Orlowski has the youth still, so I think eventually Orlowski will be, well, he has been at least number one um in the world, at least for on-road touring car. So it's either those two. I think Orlowski's been winning a little bit more recently. So I think if I had to pick any of them, I think I'd pick Orlowski just by a little bit. But Bruno is literally right there. So either one of those two. But honestly, it's been incredible to see them two battle it out at the same time. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, they're tearing it up. I mean, obviously, Orlowski won ETS. Bruno comes back and wins Euros, even
yeah,
after mischarging his battery in A2. Still comes back and gets it done. But
yeah,
now we have Simon now, right? Simon now has been super
yes.
fast ETS and Euros.
Silent
So
Lottery, yeah. He's been, he's been really stepping up his game as well. So I think he's in that top five mix as well as as well as all those guys.
so you think Orlowski, Bruno, and then you said Simon in the top five. Who's 4 and 5 for you then to finish at the top five current drivers?
Ooh, um, I would say still Mark is in that mix. And especially like, oh, that's hard. Ooh, I'm not sure. I think either one can fight for it. Like I know like the top seven are really good in the main. I
Yeah,
think Urbane is in that mix too in the top five. So I'll definitely put Urbane somewhere there. He's really good in those races as well.
yeah, yeah. You nailed. There's like 8 guys who can fight it out for the top five, top three.
And I mean, you can also mix with Ronald too in the top five. So I mean, it really depends like each person's weekend. So I think either of them can battle it out. So it could either be like Ronald, Mark, Bruno, Orlowski, Lauder, Urbane. It could be either one of them. Even Griner even is in those mains sometimes. Um, but usually a good amount of them are there. So
Yeah, and even like
oh,
Hagberg.
Alex too. Yeah, Alex.
Yeah,
Yeah, Alex has been doing good recently too. So he's definitely in that mix.
yeah, he did very good at ETS. He comes back in Euros and qualifies fourth,
Fifth,
fifth, was it?
fifth. Yeah, I think
So
it's fifth.
Yes. So he's 100% in that mix as well. So but yeah, it's a really tough fight for the top eight.
yeah,
So I think it's usually around like the same people, but it's always good competition at the same time.
100%. It's awesome to watch every week. I can't wait to watch the next ETS. I can't wait to watch this Worlds.
Yeah.
It's gonna
Oh
be
yeah, yeah.
exciting to watch. So I know it's getting close to dinner time for you. We just have 2 more questions for you, Jake, before you
No,
go,
no
and then you
problem, no problem.
crack down on the math homework. Don't worry, it's getting past Showtime's bedtime too. That's the main part. He's gonna get tucked in for bed and snuggled in for the night. But
Yeah.
obviously, you're running a lot of touring mod. That's been your focus for X amount of years. Are there any more classes in the future that you would like to run or try or fiddle around with?
Um, if I were to pick maybe like 112 scale, maybe modify it as well. If I'm near a carpet track or anything opens up, I think I would like to like try that a little bit more. I think that would improve my reaction time. People were talking about like a little bit of off road. Maybe I'll consider that one as well. I think that would be a good step. It's a totally different direction, a totally different crowd, but I think that will help improve my driving style. But as of right now, like it would be those two. I drove a little bit of nitro sedan and 8 scale when I was in Steel City and all that stuff, but since that's gone, there hasn't been much of a scene. But if so, the main two options is those. But if I had to pick, maybe like 112 scale modified.
And I think I've seen you driven one before, right? Stuart Mason, I think, a little bit at that one carpet
Yeah,
track.
a little bit. So it was kind of fun driving that. Getting used to the car.
Yeah. How did what was? compared to TC, was it something close or with completely different beast?
Speed wise, well, it's a different beast. But I think once you get used to it and you know, crash a lot less, I think it's a very fun thing to drive. It's just, you gotta really be on your A game and your eyes trained. So, but it's perfect for if you want to improve your reactions, especially for modified touring.
And did you say the 12th scale because maybe you have some insider information regarding Mugen releasing a 12th scale, or just was that just a
Uh,
general pick?
just a general pick as of right now. I don't know anything about that information, so it's just a general pick overall.
Okay. All right. I
Yeah.
didn't know if you were hinting towards something that
Oh.
the world should know, or
Oh
that's
no,
all.
man, no, no. It's just a general pick, but it's just something I think I've been thinking about a little bit. I think it'll be a good step in the right direction. So,
Yeah.
especially after driving a Stewart's car, I think that'll be good.
Yeah. 100%. You see all the top touring car guys around here: Sam, Kevin, Kemp. They all run 12 scale mod too, no problem. So.
Yeah, and you see like the Europeans, like I think Mark, Alex drives it a lot,
Yeah.
Orlowski. So all those guys.
Yeah.
I think that'll be a fun class, especially during times where carpet is like a main focus.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. So one last question. I asked a few people if they had any questions for you when we had you on, and this came up a few times. Maybe you can give us some insider information to finish the night off.
Insider
MTC,
information.
yeah, MTC4 prototype stuff coming out. Can you give us any insight on the development of your touring car?
As of right now, I don't have much. Things can change, but as of right now, there hasn't been much info on that part yet. So even mostly sticking to our MCC3 program as of right now. So yeah.
Okay, so that's the car you'll be
But so
going to
I
with.
believe that, yeah, that's the car of what I know we're gonna go with at the World Championships. So 3 months it'll be the same program.
Unless Volker hands you something underneath the table and says, "Hey, run this in one of the practice rounds."
That could, that'll be great. But I don't think anything is gonna change in the program, at least when I go to the Worlds. So that's all
Yeah,
I can say right now.
yeah, no problem. We got to ask. We got to get a little
Yeah.
insider information out of you. You know how it is.
I know.
I'm sure you get
I
that
get
question
it.
a lot.
I get it. Yes, I do. But I get it. I definitely get it.
Don't worry. You can message us, Mark and I, the details after of the MTC4. We won't tell anyone. We promise. We promise.
The next thing is gonna happen is gonna go viral.
No, no. Well, Jacob, it's been a blast. It's been a good hour and 20 minutes. We've learned a lot about you. You're building your
Thank
name,
you.
your repertoire up in the RC community, and you're fast as hell.
Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate you guys and everyone out there, everyone watching, and everyone that supports me as well. So if I want to thank, if I could have some time to thank Mugen Seiki, especially Uncle BT, Tim Long, Chris Moore. I want to thank them, my family, of course. I love them very much for all their support. I thank Randy, especially for my own product line, and everyone that's been on my journey, all my sponsors. So I just want to thank them, and I want to thank you guys especially for bringing me out here in this podcast.
No,
No problem, man.
you're very welcome, man. I only heard good things. Little E doesn't talk about Eric Epp. Doesn't I call him Little E still, but he doesn't. He says you're such a nice young man. Great for the hobby. Your dad too. The family says there's nobody more respectful and again great for the hobby. So when Little E tells me something like that, I thought that's pretty cool to be a young man that's so respected already. And he says if you get to meet him, he goes, he's just one cool kid, which is pretty
Thank you.
cool. That's really amazing.
No, I
Great
can't wait to
ambassador
meet
for
you
the hobby.
guys.
Yeah.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Try to keep April 1st. That's when the next Canadian Nats is. So I know
April
you're busy.
1st.
Yeah, that weekend. So
Okay.
I know you're booked. I know you're booked all the time, but maybe it'll work this year.
Okay. Yeah. We'll definitely keep in contact. So.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys so much. It's been an honor. Yeah. I really appreciate this time talking. It was very nice to like open up about all these stuff. So.
No problem. great job, bro, and good luck at Worlds. We'll be cheering you all
Yeah,
from here, and
for
when you podium and have that big first place trophy, we'll bring you back on to talk about that adventure.
Hope so. Thank you guys.
No problem, man. Have a good evening. Good luck in school,
All
and thank
right.
you very much for coming on.
All right, have a good night, guys.
Thank you.
See you guys.
Yeah, man.
Thank you, everyone.
So respectful.
It is. It's a pure, nice young gentleman already. He's way beyond his age, buddy.
It's
really
pure
cool.
class.
Yes.
I feel like he would kick our ass on the track and then say sorry about that. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Super nice guy.
And you see what we talked about before, Max. Not only is he good and all that kind of stuff, but that's the kind of kid or person you'd want to sponsor and running your product right there.
Yes.
Easy peasy, right?
You know, as you said, we hear great things about them.
Every car manufacturer, all whether right speed, all that. That's the person that you want.
Yeah.
That guy, whatever it takes, you want him running your product.
Yep. 100%. I don't even know what to say to that, but yes, it's
easy. Write that down. Like I always say, write that down.
Write that down. No, it's super nice kid.
Yeah.
Obviously fast as hell on the track. We don't got to talk about that. Results speak for himself, but everything we've heard about them, all the Facebook posts we see with everyone taking pictures with them, super nice family. And
yes, and no one ever has a bad word to say, and how could, right? But again, that's somebody you want running your product, pushing it, right? Give him
should be sponsored
whatever it takes. Yes, whatever it
Yes.
takes to get that kid to run your stuff.
Yes.
These car manufacturers, whatever, should be fighting for this guy.
Yes.
For this kid. Yeah.
100%. 100%. And what he's doing with the videos, and he's only in high school. He has his own YouTube channel and does videos for all these brands. That
not
means
to
so
sound as a
much.
promoter, not saying whatever, but that kid equals sales. Easy.
Yeah. Yeah. And he deserves, and you know, we talk about sponsors and other real racing and whatnot, but he deserves it because that's what sponsors being about.
Yes.
Sales and helping out the customer.
Yes, and you could tell that already. I guarantee he is probably at every track, club race, whatever, probably open arms, helping anybody, helping with probably not even running not even running Mugen. I bet you he's helping wrench it on somebody's car. I just see
100%.
not there,
100%.
but that's what I see out of that kid.
100%. Pure class act, and awesome to have him on. We'll have him on again for sure in the future, and see how he progresses over the time of
now after
early career.
You know, after meeting him, now I'm gonna go kick Bryce in the ass.
Yeah, I would too.
Yep.
And I'm gonna kick you in the ass because you were late and he was nice and early, Jacob.
I know. I apologize. I was tinting, right? We had a tint job and some other stuff at the shop. So
next week we have a potential big guest coming on. I don't know if I told you yet already. So we got to wait to confirm because I'll say their business has something massive coming out in the next week.
Okay.
So he says if he can come on, he'll give us an hour of time. I don't want to confirm it yet because he's still working out the thing.
Well, don't tell me anyways because I have no vault. Remember that. I got a vault but no doors. So if you tell me, I'm gonna.
You have a window with no glass or something.
Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah, no screen. That's what somebody said. I got a bank vault but no door.
Yeah, wide open door. But a huge guest coming on. I really hope we can make it happen. And then the following week after that, we have Scotty Aaron's coming on.
Oh,
so
we're gonna ride him good for sure.
Yes, so we're gonna talk to him good, and I can't wait for that one. So lots coming up. So thank you everybody for tuning in tonight. Huge thank you to Jacob for coming on tonight and speaking with us for over an hour.
Thank you, Max, again. Great show, buddy.
No problem. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching. We'll see you guys next week.
Yes.
So long for now. Have a good evening.
Night, Maxie.
Night, guys. See you, Brody.
See ya.